net this evening? If so, will the trainer please call net control at this time?
Kilo 4, Kilo Charlie Foxtrot. Kevin.
Kilo 4, Kilo Charlie Foxtrot. Kevin, you have the net for training.
Hey folks, this is K4KCF. You can reach me at ARRL.net. So now we're going to cover best practices for Simplex emergency communications. If you want to take some notes, if you're a new ham or if you're an Elmer for a new ham, you may want to pass this on to them. First up, with ham radio, we learn how to listen, and that's really important with Simplex communications. You're also going to want to use your radio on a regular basis, and that's what these weekly tests are for. So test that equipment. After that, probably the most important thing is to adjust your squelch on your radio. You're going to want to keep that as low as you can stand it, and that'll help you hear the weak stations. Make adjustments to your power as needed, and you want to consider having at least a 25-watt radio. You can get an inexpensive QYT and cover that. Remember, the rule is a cheap radio but an expensive antenna. You're going to want to keep those antenna connections tight, and also the connection of your coax to your radio. You're going to want to make sure that's secure as well. You're going to want to verify the integrity of your antenna and feed line with the appropriate SWR analyzer, and you may want to do that under different conditions. Make sure you're using high quality feed line, especially for the longer runs, and you're going to want to waterproof those connections on the outside of your shack to make sure water intrusion doesn't ruin your SWR. As they say, antenna height is king, and remember, VHF and UHF signals are line of sight only. If you have it, use a headset to minimize distractions. And for those of you with an HT, and if that's all you have, that's fine. Just consider an external antenna or a mag mount, or to at the least drive up in elevation to a better location. Some procedural items to go along with this is to remember your calling frequencies. Those are 146.520, also for the UHF side 446.0, and if you're on HF, consider 14.3 and 3.980. For Simplex emergency communications, you also want to make sure you have a printed copy of the frequencies you're using. You do not want to have to rely on computers during a power outage. And remember, ITU phonetics are very important on Simplex, so if you're not good at those, print them out, post them up in your shack where you can learn them and get used to using them on a regular basis. You're going to want to record each station heard by net control and record the R.S.T. for each station. Compare those stations month by month as conditions change, and even look up those stations' addresses on QRZ and do a topographic analysis between the weak stations. You can do that on Google Earth, and if you're interested, you can go to my YouTube page. I have a video in there about how to do a topographic analysis with Google Earth, and just go to my QRZ page to find that. Once invited by net control, go ahead and go direct with any stations you may be having trouble with. As a reminder, we will have a Simplex net next week, so that's why this training is this week. Gather all the information you can and use this information to make changes to your antenna, to your rig, and to even move your location. With that, this is K4KCF, back to net control.